There you go.
How should how should we introduce you? I should
Oh,
have written down more
yeah.
things.
Oh, if you like, I can send you a short bio right now. Let me do that because I have a short one that I usually send. I should have done that before we started.
Ah,
Here, let me do that.
and this is my first one ever, so that's why I figured it would take some time, but plus I haven't talked to you face to face in so long.
Exactly.
Wes
We'll
is like,
have to we'll have to do
yeah,
another call where it's not interview and we can just catch up. How about that?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there are, I feel like this is a multifaceted thing. Like, one, I need to catch up. And then two, I want to talk to you on a business level. And then three, I want to talk to you on a patient level. So
Dang. Yeah, I see
that's,
the levels.
yeah, that's why I'm like an hour.
You're like,
Well,
how
no,
come that's not?
no, but I'll try and keep it strictly to the patient stuff that I was wanting to talk to you about.
Okay.
What did I do with my they're my
Okay.
Abby notes.
There we go. Short one.
I think I'm gonna try that
The
the,
FEA.
yeah, I think I'm gonna try it for a month and see what I think.
Yes. Try it. When you sign up, let me know too so I can show you around. Because
Yeah.
I love the way they've done it now because when you start, you will actually take a quiz and then the quiz will tell you because there's so many like master classes and seriously, you can get
Yeah.
lost. So it does the quiz and then it tells you know where you need to work. So for example, for me, I'm
Yeah.
focusing on making more money. So all the master classes it suggests is around that. If it
Yeah.
is about building something, all the master classes will be around that. So I love that. But even if it categorizes you, you still have access to everything. But at least it
Yeah.
makes it easier. So you're not like, oh my gosh, there's too much. I don't even know where to start. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
That's
love that part.
cool.
Yeah.
I feel like you've got all of the good stuff in place.
Girl, it took me years. I'm
Ah,
still learning. I
that's
feel like
good though.
in the last 3 years is where I really started building this foundation that I'm working on. Like that's where I laid it down. Like I wish someone would have taught me this when I started. It just, I'm like, dang, it took me this long. Like
What do you
seriously.
mean? Which foundation?
For example, not doing business by myself. So having like a group of women or a group of people, because it doesn't have to be women,
Yeah.
who you can chat with about your business, who you can set goals, you can set intentions, you can support each other, you can promote each other. Like that, I would have reached so much farther if I started with that. Like it just, yeah. So
Oh,
that's just an example.
you've already got a pretty good following though, right?
Yeah, but it took a lot of work.
So you had to do it the long way.
The long way. Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
So they have a
Exactly.
shortened version.
Yes.
Okay. That would
Yeah.
be
I
so cool.
I did the long way. But yeah, I'm still learning. There's still like right now my focus is on membership. I want to create a membership that brings in income monthly, like without me having to do much. And I have
Yeah.
it set up, but I want to expand it. Like I want to build it more so that I can have that income coming through, just fluidly. You know?
I think we're like in the same
Yep.
place there, but the only thing is you already have that framework set up for that online stuff. For
Yes.
me, it's hard to translate the physical to the online.
Oh, it's easy. Don't overthink it. It's easy. You just yeah, one step at a time. Trust
Yeah,
me, it's easy. I think people, because
easy.
when you're used to, in person, people being with you and coming to you,
Yeah,
like, well, how do I take this experience and bring it online when I just see people like this? I had to help one of my friends, Renata. I don't know if you remember Renata from school.
I don't think so.
She came in like to us when we were leaving. So it would be, yeah, she would be like a freshman when we were leaving. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe you didn't see her. But yeah, I had to help her because she wanted to create something like that online. So she had to figure out, what do I even want to bring online to begin with, and then go from there. But yeah, you don't think of it as hard. Trust me, it's easier than you can imagine. Yeah, yeah. You got this. You got this.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
whole other conversation.
Yes.
I so and you got all this from the group?
Oh God, with the FEA, I joined FEA last year. That's when it
Uh-huh.
came to but before then, I was in a group of publishers, and we had our own community, and we would like support each other like that. And then we created little tiny groups from that bigger group, and then we started supporting each other. But yeah, the FEA came in when I wanted that accountability partner. I was like, I just want someone that I can meet once a week, talk about my goals. They can hold me accountable. It's like, this is what I'm doing this week for this purpose. And then we check in with each other. Someone who can support me if I feel stuck and help me move along. And that's how FEA came in. I was like, if I had joined this earlier, it would have covered everything, everything that I wanted.
Yeah.
But it what I got before is unique. I needed that experience. Like, that's something that you don't see out there in the online community, where a group of women come together and support each other without wanting anything back. It just, you don't hear that as often. So that was gold. So I'm grateful I had that experience. And the FEA just, oh, you'll see. You'll see.
I feel like it's just there's that imposter syndrome. And see, here I'm
Mm,
going off on the business part of it and not sticking to the patient part of it. But then it's like, how do you serve, like, because everything I do is physical, but not, right? So how do
yeah.
I take the other stuff out of it to translate it online? I guess that's where I'm getting stuck because
Yeah.
I'm so in the physical, and I have been, that it's hard to translate it. I'm
Yeah.
overthinking it.
I mean, like you said, it comes down to, what is it that you want to share with people. So for me, when I came online, it's because I wanted to reach more people. I
Hmm.
needed to expand. I want my work to like be everywhere in the world. And that was
Yeah.
actually the, what do you call it? The calling that pushed me online. It's like, it's time for you to go online. It was for me to do everywhere. And that's why I did the podcast, because anyone, anywhere could tap into me and listen. And it's like YouTube and podcasts. That's why I started those two. So after that, it's like Facebook, Instagram, you start to work with them, and then you have more people who are from everywhere, and then you start bringing in that way. So you have to have that intention. Why am I doing the online? What am I teaching? What am I bringing? What do I want to bring forth? That's where you start, and then
Yeah.
you go from there. Yeah, yeah.
That's good. See, look, this should be a master class.
Don't get me started.
I know, how many courses? How many courses? Okay, so how this is gonna sound funny. How do you identify? But I don't mean gender. What I mean is, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I sent you the thing on Facebook. What is it called? Facebook
Oh, on
Messenger.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it gives you, that's usually what I send out. You can make it shorter. I just kind of give you, then you can even do the first part if that feels good. But yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You crack me up.
I didn't rehearse this though.
You're good. You're good.
How do I? Okay. It's it's going to be really choppy.
Flow with it.
Flow.
Yeah, because you can even like choose like a little bit, like this is Abigail, maybe one sentence you'd be like, Abigail, say anything that you would like to add to that. And then that way I can add whatever I needed to add. So you don't feel like you need to like memorize everything or say everything. That would be another way.
Okay. Because I promise you, I won't memorize right this second.
It's like, damn, that's good.
No.
You're like, I got
Okay.
it.
What's that?
I was like, you're like, I got it. I memorized it.
Yeah. I wish I've seen it so many times. Um, okay, let me just read it.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just doing, okay. So do you go by Abigail Mensabonsu still?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's
And
not
then,
changing.
okay. Well, I didn't know if you were still adding the Ulmer in there.
I put it on Facebook to, you know,
Yeah, I
to
know.
honor him. But
Yeah,
no, I kept my name.
I love it. Yeah, it's good. It'll be what do you call it? It'll be like a conversation, casual kitchen conversation piece. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It'll be a common
yeah.
subject.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
okay. Okay, so you are the founder of Moon Goddess Academy and Publishing, and you are a highly regarded spiritual guide and mentor committed to elevating consciousness and embodying the divine feminine. That is such a mouthful.
It is.
Um, and yet it doesn't fully
Exactly.
encompass you. And you wear many hats as divine channel, intuitive, master healer, internationally acclaimed best-selling author and publisher, and host of the Sovereign Goddess podcast. And then this light language, or which what do you call it? It's the light
Oh, you
language
got it.
weekly
Yeah.
forecast
Oh,
or
I think I call it daily dose of light or weekly
daily
dose of
dose.
light.
Yeah, weekly
Weekly.
dose of
Yeah.
light. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
you're
So
good. You're good.
there's even more than what's on that list, and
Yeah.
I find it overwhelming myself. But is there anything I want? This is why I want to talk to you today. Because it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's great. It's all good stuff, really
Yeah.
good stuff that I know so many people could use. So is there anything, let me take a breath here. Is there anything you would like to add to that? And I apologize for just reading it
No, you're
right
good.
off the
You know,
computer.
like you said, it comes down to this. These titles that we use is just so that our brain can grab something and then move from there. But for me, what really helps is when someone comes into my energy and they feel it. Because what you receive is what you will get, right? So if you come into my energy and like, oh, I feel so activated, I have so much energy, that's exactly what you needed. In that instance, I'm an activator. If you're someone who needed nurturing, you're like, oh, I just feel like the Divine Mother's holding me. Like that's who I am in that moment, right? So how do you find a title that encompasses it's impossible. So I just kind of choose the main ones that people can connect to. So intuitive channel, which means that I connect to source, bring through not only just the message, but the frequencies to assist anybody, but especially women. I'm working with women.
Yeah,
That was a whole journey in itself. Because it's just our time to really understand what it means to be women, why we chose to be women, the power
right.
behind it, and our purpose too. So I'm passionate about women and children right now. Yeah.
I can see that. That's great. So if we could strip it down, all of the names, the titles, what's what's the very basic goal?
The
Do you know
basic
what I
goal.
mean?
Oh,
Like, what is
basic
it you
goal.
hope to accomplish with each person you encounter?
Yes. My goal is that each person that comes into my energy, they leave remembering who they are and fully being in themselves, if that makes sense. Like, I want
Ah,
someone to leave my energy saying, I know who I am. I know why I'm here. I know what path to take. I know I'm going to make this decision and I'm going to make it because I want to make it, not because someone else told me so. So it's like you're coming home to yourself. I want people to leave my energy and come home to themselves and then go into the world and be who they really are without
I like that. I'm
society,
gonna write it
right?
down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the whole premise of it, because that's been my journey, being able
yeah.
to hold myself in everything. When society is trying to tell me, no, you should do this, you should be this, you should, all the shoulds that we hear. I had to
Mhm.
learn to be like that center of the storm, where it's like, I don't care what you say, I know who I am. And sometimes it's freaking painful because you feel
Yeah.
alone. You feel like you're the only one who knows you and is fighting for
Um,
yourself. But then you get to a point where you meet others who are the same way. And so that even strengthens you so that you can show up in the world more you. Because the beauty is that when you step into the world as you inspire someone else who comes into your energy to do the same thing. So it's like this. I just want everyone to just know who they are. There's power,
ah,
you know?
that's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Okay, that makes it a little simpler for me.
Yes,
But
yes.
I think yeah, that'll be easier to translate to patients because sometimes, they're like empath or activator.
Mm,
What does that mean? Or light language? What are these things? What do they mean?
yeah.
Um, so I think what I was trying to ask you before is for somebody that is completely foreign to this is all completely
Yeah.
foreign. This is Mandarin to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But they're just like, well, I don't quite feel right, or I'm not happy. Like I have everything I ever wanted, but I'm not happy. I feel like there's this big void, or I don't have a clique, a crew, a group
Mm.
that I resonate with. They just feel not quite right. What would you recommend be their first step?
I mean, the first step is recognize that something is not right, something is off, right? And then the next step is, okay, what is off? What is it that I'm truly craving, right? Because even before you go and seek help from someone, you have to know where you are when where you're going, and you just need someone to bridge those two together. Right. I feel like it's okay if you're like, I'm in this place, I'm lost, and you go to someone else. And hopefully the practitioner is so good that they help you remember where you're going. And then they just kind of hold space for you to find your way to where you're going. But if you fall in the hands of a practitioner who's not true, let's just say that, right? Then you can be a lot, and a lot of people fall into this prey where they're being told who they should be, using fancy words, using all the things that are on social media. They're like, oh, I received this 24 strand DNA, so that means I'm good. What does that even mean? Right. And so people hear that and they kind of find comfort in that. And I get it. But here's the thing, to receive light, like when I do a light activation or even a DNA activation, you feel it. You leave, no, like there's this clarity. You know what the next step is and you're ready to take it. It's not like after you receive it, you're leaving like, I don't even what you get even more confused than you started. Like that's a red flag right there. You should not get more confused than you started. There's always something that will become very clear to you, one step that you can take in that moment. Right. So when you're starting out, you know you're here, something doesn't feel good. Okay, that's the first step. You recognize that. The second step is like, okay, this doesn't feel good, but what is it that I want? What is that? Where is that place that I feel good? You start to explore that, get clear on that. And if you seek help, then seek help on that. This is where I am. I'm trying to figure out where I want to be. I'm trying to figure out what this good place is. Can you help me do that? And
Yeah.
then you find a way to bridge those two. Okay, I'm here. This is where I want to go. How do I get there? And whoever you're working with, if they're really good, they will help you bridge those two. Because the answers are all there. You carry all the answers. Here's the thing. Like, I bring through a lot, but it's because of you. It's because you're ready. If you're not ready, there's nothing that I bring through. I don't care how powerful my tools are, that will get you moving, because it's not for you. So you hold the key. You have to be like, I have the key. I just don't know which door. And then I'm like, okay, let me clear the clouds so that you can see the door. Oh, there's the door. And then you can walk over there and you open it. And you're like, oh, I'm here. Now I don't know what to do. Well, turn on the lights. And you turn on the light, like, oh, okay, now I know. See, that's the purpose of the practitioner. It's not for me to
Yeah.
do your work for you. It's not for me to tell you what you should do. It's just for me to help you remove some of the things that might be clouding you up so that you can see what your next step is and you can actually take it. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so this is kind of like on the business um side of it, because I don't know if you remember, I'm a little bit of a, I guess Rob, he called me a hammer, and it's physical and spiritual, just hammer. And so I feel like I'm just now starting to accept that channeling part. And I always think of you because I'm like, I don't know why I'm saying this to you, but I feel like I'm supposed to say it to you.
I
So here,
remember.
yeah, here goes. I'm going to take a leap of faith and kind of I just let it fly. But
Mm.
I'm encountering a lot of people where they're like, I don't have trauma, or that's not the case. That's not what's happening. Or you can't seriously be telling me. It's like they immediately reject it. So
Yeah.
what is it that is it something that the patient, it has to be done to prepare the patient or the client for receiving the
Yeah.
information?
It depends. So here's the thing. The fact that you receive that voice, or that whatever that is, that says you need to tell this person this, that's like the permission for you to, that means they're ready to receive it. Now, how they react to that, you have no control over. And even if they react to it and say, well, that's not it, you've planted the seeds. Sometimes we just need to plant a seed and let the seed do its thing. So if you hear, share this with this person, you share it and you release it, you let it go. If they respond to it like, oh, thank you, great, then it works. But most likely they're going to be like, I have no idea what the heck you're talking about. I just came in for a massage, that's all I need. And you're like, okay, it's okay. Because the truth is, energetically, you have given them a piece that they needed, that they might not be conscious of. But when they leave after the massage, something will shift. So there's a lot about the work that we do that we don't even get praise for, because it's not something that shows the benefit right there. Sometimes it's a year later, sometimes it's
Yeah.
3 years later, and then something blossoming like, oh, whoa, right? We planted
Yeah.
seeds, and we allow that person to take it and do, because they know where they are. Like, energetically, they're on a path, they're on a journey. When they're ready, they find you for some reason. They come into
Yeah.
your energy, they receive whatever they need, whether consciously or unconsciously, they leave. And then whatever needs to unfold will unfold from there. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
don't distrust, just because the patient says, I don't know what you're talking about, or I don't need that, or what are you talking? Don't you just like, oh, okay, well, I just felt like I needed to tell you this. That's it. Because they received it and it will do its work. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there, I guess, any advice you might have for patients coming into situations like this where it's completely new to them, and, just so that they can be open to receiving the information and not necessarily reject it right away?
Well, it depends. For example, if someone comes into or makes an appointment to work with me, they know exactly where I stand. They know what I do in my work. They know what they're getting themselves into. Whether
Okay.
they can find words for it or not, but they feel it. Like from
Yeah.
the moments they think Abigail, they already feel my energy. It is very clear, right? So it's like, what energy are you putting out there? How can they get to? It's like your energetic calling card. Anyone who's going to enter my energy, they know they're going to get activated. Something they need to release, like something's going to spark within them. That's just how my energy works, right? So when they
Gotcha.
come in, they feel it. It's that anxiety. They're like, oh shit, something's about to happen. But it's there. So it goes back. It's like, what is your energetic calling card? Even if you don't write it down, you're not saying it, they feel it. So what are you sending out? What are the signs that or signs or what are you transmitting? Right? Because that's
Yeah.
when they choose you, whether they know it immediately, like I'm going to her because I feel like she'll get the job done. Like she will do like whatever it is that I am craving, she has it. I can't put words to it. Or
Yeah.
subconscious, they need to receive it subconsciously. So it might be like they're on the table, you're giving them massage, but the energy is flowing through your hands into them. You don't even have to say anything. They receive what they need, they're done, right? And some people
Yeah.
will come back and be like, I don't know what you were doing, but keep doing it, keep doing it. That's how you know it's working. So what are you putting out there? It's not always verbal. It's
Yeah.
easy for us to use words, but it's the energetic signature that's the most important. Because to be honest, people feel you first before they hear you.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
feel you first before they hear you.
Okay.
So when I come into like looking at you, I'm like, oh, she's gonna see shit that yeah, she knows how to see. Like she will see it. You have that seer, that the ability to see into timelines that are not here, whether in the past or future or in between. You have that gift. Yes, you
Oh,
do.
thank you. Look at that.
So just by looking at you, and I wonder if you experience this where people are a bit shy in looking into your eyes because it feels like you're peering into them. Because you can see them. It's just as simple as that. You're like, I can see you. And even if you don't grasp the entirety of that gift, people can
Yeah.
still feel that intensity. Like, she sees my soul. I can't hide.
Yeah.
Like I can't hide, right? That's your gift. And so when
Aw.
someone is coming to work with you, if they're really serious about the work, like if I'm coming to you for massage, I'm like, I can just really relax. What I need will come through and she'll tell me. She will see exactly what I need. Even if I can't find the words to be like, hey, I'm coming in because, it's like you can feel it, you can see it, and I will receive what I need. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me
Well,
know if that
thank
answered your
you.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It answered that question and so many more. But now I have some more.
Of course you do.
I know. I went and did this acupuncture, the injection therapy class, and I
Yes.
loved it. But the instructor, she's like, "Oh, Ava from Arizona, you ask a lot of questions." I'm like, "Yep, that's me. That's me."
So perfect. You're curious. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how could you not be?
Exactly.
There's so much. And then like I heard you talking on one of the I don't know if it was talking on one of the other podcasts, or I think it might have been your light, your weekly dose of
Oh,
light,
gotcha. Yeah.
translating translating the feeling and the language basically of the universe or God or whoever your being is, translating that into words is really hard, and let alone words that people can understand.
Yeah.
So I think where I am is trying to, I feel strongly like I've always kind of here and there been like, you need to follow her. She's really good. She's got some good
Mm,
information. But now I feel really strongly there's a lot of, I guess it's female or feminine trauma
yeah.
kind of like what you guys were discussing, the generational traumas. And I don't know, just so much, so
Yeah,
much. It's like you said, it's our time. If you're looking at yin and yang, oh, it's feminine time.
yeah,
It's
it
goddess
really
time.
is. Yeah,
Um, but gosh, there's just so much trying to translate that and get people to you that need to
yeah,
be to kind of siphon them through, because there are a lot I'm encountering with this trauma, and I'm like, this is, I gave you the message, but you're not receiving it.
yeah,
And I know you need a different kind of shift.
yeah. Oh, totally. Again,
So
when we're working with other people, there's only so much you can do. You just do what you've been guided to do and just hope that they receive that and create the shift that they want. Because we
yeah,
all have a choice. Even if we were given the golden key to shift our life the way, we still have a choice to grab that key and put it in the keyhole and turn it or not.
yeah,
Like we still have to do the work. So we can only offer the key, and then it is up to them to take the key and go do what they need to do. It is up to them. It's their journey. We can't do anything about that. We can only hold space, bless them on their journey. And sometimes it's a matter of time, honestly. Maybe right now it's not the right time to put that key in the door. Maybe it needs to
right,
be a month from now, a year from now, or maybe 10 years from now. Who knows? They're on their own journey. And so we just do what is needed of us in that moment and then just bless them forward. Does that make sense?
gotcha. Yep,
Yeah. And then in terms of like the translating, I spent so many years in my work trying to find the right words so that I can attract the right people. And
yeah,
what I've learned is that part of my energy speaks for itself. A big part of what I do, I cannot find words for. It just finding a word for it dilutes it. And I had to be okay with that. I had to
yeah,
find a different way, like when, for example, being on more like summits and podcasts so that people can hear me, they can see me. Like that is how I bring people in. Like my
hmm,
voice, when they see me, that brings them in. That's very important versus for someone, it might be their words. So them writing posts, writing articles, like that's how people can feel their energy. So you have to
yeah,
find what works for you. It might be voice. So that means podcast is probably going to be a big thing for you. Because when people hear your voice, they're like, oh, I feel that medicine. I need more of that medicine. Right. So you find what works for you and then you move from there. Mine is they have to see me and hear me. So when I do a video, that's exactly what they need to experience. It helps them be like, oh, I see you. Okay, I can do this. And majority of people who've worked with me is because of that. They saw me on a summit or a video podcast, and they're like, I like her. I'm gonna go check her out. Or they
yeah.
do my weekly podcast, but it's all that. But yeah, don't get hooked on trying to find the right words for, especially in the social media world, a lot of niching and branding. Like you can get confused very easily. Like, I don't know where to start. If you're
Yeah,
lucky, I am so jealous of people who, like they know what they're doing. For example, let's say they are, I'm just gonna use like book editor. They've known it from the beginning and they've mastered it. That's their strong suit. They're really good at it. So they can show up and be like, I'm a book editor because they've done it for years. That's what they've known. But if you're multi-passionate, that's a bit hard.
but
Because
when you break it all down, you're
yeah,
a healer.
but it's different types of healing.
But you've been that since the beginning of time.
True. No, that is true. But healer is just one part of me.
Yeah,
So if I show up as a healer, I'm going to get clients who just want to be healed or in that capacity. And yes, they will experience so much more because there's so much more to me. But I think this is where knowing yourself is important because when I show up there, it doesn't matter what I write down. If I show up as all of me, people will pick up on that. And that's how they're going to well, what am I looking for? Like play with me or work with me or dance with me. There we go. Yeah.
Oh,
So they're
gotcha.
able to, yeah. So knowing yourself is the key. We can choose simple words like, like in my intro, I have just a few ones that it's like, yeah, totally, she does these, but it's so much more that I do that I can't even find words for. And you kind of have to come into my energy to
Mhm.
experience it. But when I'm talking, you can feel me. It's just
Yeah.
it flows through me to whoever is listening. So yeah, you just choose what works. The other thing that I learned too is like, yeah, I can choose these words today, but maybe a month later I check in, I'm like, I don't feel like this word anymore. I'm gonna do something else. You can change it. It's okay.
Okay.
You don't have to get stuck on one thing. You can change it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just it can be frustrating in the online world when you see the people who are able to niche really well and stick with it, and then you are trying to be like them, but you're not like them.
Right.
It can be very frustrating.
Yes. I get it. Is that where you're stuck right now?
No, I am done niching or trying to niche like people. I am multi-passionate. I know what I'm good at. I know what flows through me. Mine is where do I need to be? So I ask Spirit to show me where I need to be, where my clients are, so I can be in front of them. That's my thing right now. It's like, where are my people? Where do I need to show up? Where do I need to talk? Take me there so that they can find me. That's where I am. Yeah.
Where are they?
I don't know. We'll see.
You haven't gotten the answer yet.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think it's one place they're at. I think
Yeah.
for example, like oh, what did he say? One of my business friends. Oh, yeah, yeah. He was talking about being more on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like more professional, right? We know it's professional. And
Yeah.
there's not a lot of woo-woo, a lot of spiritual stuff. And if you're going to show up there, it has to be a way that you show up for them to feel comfortable to come to you. And so he was
Right.
telling me to be more on LinkedIn because my people are not, they're people that are in higher places that you would never catch them saying that I do this spiritual work. They kind of do it on themselves, but it's not in the open because they're in higher levels, like, executives and
Yeah.
because they're the ones that need to remember they need that type of work to help them hold your energy, to help them build your energy so that they can continue what they're doing. So he's like, get yourself there. Stop thinking about it. Just get yourself in front of them, start talking, start sharing, and they will find you and come to you. But it always intimidated me because I'm like, they're professional. How do you talk to professional like spirit, higher self, like spirit team? Like, how do you? But I guess, if it is for them, they will hear it. They will hear it and they will find you. But it's also like I also have to show up in a way that they understand that I'm not the type of spiritual who floats away, who's ungrounded, who's just like, oh, love and light. Let's just clear you.
Yeah.
You're good. No, it's like I'm
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what step to take. We're gonna make it tangible, so to show that part too. Like that's important. Yeah.
I think this is good because this watching some of your podcasts and things like that or YouTube videos, it's it's a little bit more joyful and free. It's different sides of you, and this time is
Yeah.
very business. Like, yes, ma'am, tell me what to do, I will do it. But it's good. That's how you communicate, right? It's
Yeah.
like the energy that's coming through with the words. The words don't matter. It's
Yeah,
just like you
exactly.
said, your energy, like, look here, Mr. Professional Executive, suit and tie. Let me tell you what you need to do.
Yeah,
You need
that's
to
what he
quit
was
messing
saying.
around.
He was
Yeah.
like, you make, these people who are supposed to be, they're respected in your community, they're held really high. He's like, you make people like that feel shy, because of your energy. Your energy can hold it's a leadership energy. So I'm able to meet them there energetically, even though
Right.
physically I'm not in their field. And that is the key for me. They need to know that I can understand the importance of their work and also
Good.
bring in the tools that will support them there without being ungrounded, because they still need to be part of this planet. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great program. You can tell I'm watching so much. I'm
Yes.
consuming so much because I'm like, ooh, that's a program. That's a course. Let's get it started.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, before before I forget. Um, oh yeah, I wanted to ask you what your signs were because I
My,
forgot.
my signs?
Yeah.
Which signs?
Your
Oh, astrology signs.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
girl, you can't say signs, and I'm supposed to know which sign. There's so
Yeah,
many different signs.
I know what signs are coming through for you.
Which one? Exactly.
I don't know.
So,
What does it mean?
my sun sign is Virgo. My moon sign is Sagittarius. And actually, my rising, it just changed because for the longest time I thought it was Capricorn because of the time I was born. I thought I was
Mhm.
born at 1:30 p.m. and I was doing my sister's chart, and something was like, ask your mom about yours. And I was like, I already know mine. She told me. I was like, Mom, did you tell me that I was born like 1:30? And she looked at me, she's like, no, you came out in the morning. And I was like, huh. So I put it into my chart, and my rising is Scorpio, which makes a lot of freaking sense. Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. I haven't had the Scorpios. It's so all over the place. The ones I encounter.
Really? Well, it really for Scorpios?
I guess foundationally, maybe not, but as far as people that I gel with, I don't
Wait,
know.
you're a fire sign, right? Your sun sign is, hold on, Sagittarius. Yeah, Rob. You and Rob were the same. I
Yeah.
don't remember your moon and your rising. Remind me.
I think the moon, I don't know. I can't remember which one is which, but I have the Taurus and the Aries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I don't remember which one is which, though. You have to look it up and let me know. But I do. So you have two fire right there. And then you have the earth like holding it balanced. So if you come in contact with a water sign, being a fire sign, just think about the elements, fire and water. What happens?
Mm-hmm.
The fire is like, stay far away from me so you don't put my fire out, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't want some water on my fire, like back off, right? And so there's that dynamic with the water and fire. But if you get fire and let's say earth, what happens?
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. Just like it's
Yeah.
perfect harmony, right? And then water
Yeah.
and air is also perfect harmony because water creates more air. Water supports air. So this is beautiful flow. So you kind of have
Yeah.
to look at that. And then always looking at the other sign. So if you look at your chart, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think people tend to just look at their sun sign and decide the entire being on their sun sign.
Yeah.
No, that's just a tiny bit of who you are. Look at your
Yeah.
entire chart. Which sign, like for example, how many Scorpios do you have in your chart? If you notice that you have like 4 Scorpios, five, or even more, you know you're going to be acting more for water sign, even though your sun sign is an Aries. You're going to be more of a water sign than anything. So you have to look at the entire chart and see which one is like the main one. And each part of the chart tells you a part, like a part of who you are. So how you think, how you love, how you fight, how passionate, like what type of passion do you share,
Mm-hmm.
who you are in the world. Like each part of the chart gives you a complete, like the pieces of you, and when you bring it together it's like all of you, so you can't just take one and then try to
Yeah.
live your entire life on that one. Yeah, sunshine
Yeah.
is been overdone. You gotta
Yeah.
get more.
Oh, we're done. Do you know how to read those? The natal charts?
I do. I don't like saying, because there are astrologists who like just, I have learned it myself and I have a way of understanding it. So I will never call myself an astrology, but I do understand the dynamics of the human being, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Hold on real quick.
Do you have the capacity to tell us about the Oracle before you go? I know you have to go.
So Oracle is my multi-author book that is coming out tomorrow. Pretty excited. And
Yes.
I brought together, there are 8 women who came in. They're all what you say, like intuitive, like they're able to tune in and channel a message. And so they came through and channeled a message and we put it together into a book. The intention behind Oracle is to support women in their intuitive, oracular, whatever that gift you want to call it, where they just know. It's an ancient gift that we've always had, but we've
Yeah.
forgotten it, because whether we forgot it because we were made to forget it. It's part of the feminine, right? It's
Right.
something that is ingrained in us. It's part of our DNA as a woman. And now it's like this book, if a woman buys it, they get in that activation. The channeled messages in there is going to support you in remembering your own voice, your inner voice that comes out, the power of your voice, and your ability to connect to something higher than you, and allowing that, whatever that support or messages to come through to support you, your
Yeah.
family, your community, whoever. But we have that gift. So this book is like a massive activation for women to remember the ancient voices. Yeah.
I feel like that's great. I feel like this is maybe the first step. If you're feeling a little lost, picking this up can really, it speaks to a wide variety of people. I think there are a couple that are really easy to understand, and then there are others that are a little bit more, you have to reread it a couple of times to fully get the
Yes.
message. So I feel like it encompasses a variety of levels,
Yeah.
as far as where
Totally.
people are starting. But I think that's wonderful. I'm going to start recommending that to my
Thank
patients
you.
as
Thank
a good
you.
starting point. My
Yeah.
pleasure. I don't want to keep you because I know you got to get. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. I
My
really
pleasure.
appreciate
My
you.
pleasure.
I
Let's
really
let's
do.
let's do a separate one where we connect. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, I'm gonna let you go so that you can cough, and then I'll message you about sending links and things like that, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
you
my dear.
rest your voice. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.